Okay, so hi, I am back again. I should probably learn to put my phone on silent before I start this, since the last video I had a trifecta of notifications going through. But I am on cycle day 15, and my last video I talked about how I was experiencing cramping and how I was scared that it was possibly a cyst, and oh my god, end of the world. So, on cycle day 13, which was October 9th, um, I called up my doctor and I was telling the receptionist lady that about the pain that I was feeling, and she was like, "Oh, it's normal, probably ovulation," just like I thought from the beginning. And then she's like, "Oh, just let the doctor know." She let him know, and then he called me back a couple hours later, and he was like, "Well, you do have PCOS, so I just want to make sure it's not cyst, because he said Clomid can sometimes form the cyst, which is why I was worried and called him in the first place." So I was kind of glad that he picked up on that and cared enough to call me to tell me to come in. So he wasted no time. He called me about the cyst thing around like right after lunch, like 1, and he was like, "Come in at 2:30." So I went in with my friend because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need support." Because, if it's cysts and not me actually ovulating, I was going to be so down, because taking fertility medicine is no joke. For probably those of you who have taken fertility medicine, you are a completely different person. I had terrible mood swings, and don't want to talk about it. So I went in, saw him at 2:30. He took me back the first time just to, I guess, like, feel to see if he felt any cysts, which was, he said he didn't really feel anything, and for me to go back to the waiting room, and he was going to call me back for ultrasound just to make sure. Like, since he didn't feel anything, he just wanted to double check and make sure. So he took me back and did like the ultrasound things, and like also like these like little holes it looked like, and like he said they were my ovary, so like little black spots on my ovary, and I was freaking out because I was like, okay, well, there's one cyst, yeah, okay, there's another one, like just I was pissed, pretty much. And then he told me that those aren't cysts, those are like, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, follicles, which are basically like eggs. And I was like freaking out. I wanted to cry. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's not one egg, like that's 2 and that's 3. There was like 7 of them, and then there was like 3 that were like pretty big, and he was telling me how those are like the mature ones, and how the recommended size for them are 2 centimeters, and so he measured it with the I don't know, little lines they draw with the little ultrasound thing, and they were exactly 2 centimeters. They were exactly the recommended size, and I don't think I've ever been, or anybody has ever been more excited to see some eggs. Not even a baby, but eggs, like like future babies. I was so excited. I wanted to cry. Like, it was, probably awkward because the ultrasound that he did had to be the one that, like, wasn't the stomach one. It was the other way. So it was kind of awkward. But like the second he said there were, eggs, I flipped out. I was so happy because the last time we did it, there was none. Not one egg did I produce, because I don't ovulate. I make cysts. I don't make eggs. And finally, I made eggs, and I don't make cysts. So, Clomid was like my savior, and I was so excited. So he was telling me that, judging by the way they looked, like I either had just ovulated or I am about to. I've been taking OPKs this whole time, which are ovulation prediction kits, what it stands for. Taking them this whole time, and like they fluctuate from looking semi like they're gonna go positive, and they like get faint again, and then they get dark. And I looked up that sometimes with PCOS, you don't really get positive ovulation kits. Like, it can give you false readings, and I don't know. So the ovulation kit thing was kind of a bust. But I'm also temping, and my temps haven't shown anything. Maybe it's because I wake up whenever, and sometimes, I don't know. my temps aren't working, but he said that he could actually see the eggs and that it looked like I either had just ovulated or I'm about to. So I'm still using the OPKs just to see if, if it's the I'm about to route, if um, it'll show up or whatever. So I was so excited about that. And the day whenever I went in to have the ultrasound done, my husband, he was at the range, which is like, they go to the range, I guess, to shoot, and he was there all day. And when they go, they're there all day. And I was so excited the whole day, from like 2 to like, almost like 8 when he was done and called me to come get him. I was like, oh my gosh, can't wait to go get him. I can't wait to tell him. I can't wait to tell him. And my friend that had went with me, she had to pick up her husband too because our husbands work with each other. And she told my husband, she's like, oh, you have some good news. And so, of course, he's thinking, oh my God, she's pregnant. So he's grinning from ear to ear. And we get in the car and he's like, so what's the good news? What's the good news? And I'm like, no, not that. And he's like, oh, looked all down. And I told him that I went to the doctor and I had eggs, which sounds weird. But for TTC people, eggs, you get pumped up about some eggs. I told him I had eggs, and he was just so ecstatic. He nearly made me swerve the car into a ditch with how he just jumped and gave me a hug, and he was so happy. And he was like, "So what does this mean?" And I wanted me to explain everything to him, and he was just so excited. So that's how that went. Finally getting somewhere. And now I'm only on cycle day 15. So I can show you guys my big calendar, my dry erase board calendar. My friend Shanna has one similar to this one, which gave me the idea to get one. And mine has all my little cycle days written on it. Cycle day 7, 8, whatever. Halloween is the day that I am saying that I want to test. But I think I'll probably test before Halloween. Right here on cycle day 21, actually, I should probably move that. Cycle day 21. Sorry, it's so blurry. Which is going to be October 17th, is whenever I go in to get my blood draw to have the confirmation of ovulation. That ovulation happened, so I go and do that. That's actually a week that's a week from yesterday. So in a week, I'll be doing probably a video telling you guys what the blood draw said. Exciting. But I am so anxious to test. I have my box of pregnancy tests just sitting there and just staring at me, and I'm like, oh, I want to take you so bad, but it's way too early. So that's how that's going. Just have to really just wait and see what happens with all those eggs. Many people would sit out this cycle, I guess, because of the amount of eggs, and they don't want to risk the chance of multiples. But you know what? We've been trying for so long. Justin knows the possibility of the whole being on Clomid, and how the chance of multiples kind of goes up. But the fact that I saw so many eggs, yeah, it's more like a reality now. And he's fine with it. I'm fine with it. As long as we can provide. As long as I'm not the next Octomom. I'm pretty good with multiples. And I have a good support system here and all that greatness. So, so next week, blood draw. And then the following week, I'm going to take a pregnancy test. And I hope it's positive. If it's not, I already talked about this, if it's not, of course I'm going to be devastated. I'm always devastated if I take a test and it's negative. But the fact that I know that the Clomid's working, kind of will make that negative not so much more of a, depressing thing, what's been going on, because before I wasn't getting any help for anything, so I just kind of knew, negative, dang it, throw it away. There's nothing I can do about it. But now, doing something that's working, finally, so happy. Husband's happy. Now we just need to do the baby dance and have some babies. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll give you guys an update next week.